Now we're gonna get to DSP-408 app. This one doesn't optimize, is not for the iPad, so it'll show basically like the phone screen sized app. Here you would connect up, it would scan for your device through Bluetooth. You would have to have the Bluetooth dongle. It would show up DSP-408. You would click it, it would connect. Pretty simple. One thing I did find out about it almost right away was you can connect to multiple devices. You would just have to disconnect any devices nearby. If you want to connect to, say I want to connect to this iPad and my other phone was connected, had previously been connected, I would have to disconnect and forget the DSP through that phone to be able to connect to the iPad seamlessly, a lot easier. It would make the process a lot quicker, because then it basically loops itself. It'll keep trying to connect, and then you try to go into the app, it'll kick you off. You try to connect it again, keep kicking you off. So it's better to have just one single device connected to it. Or if that's just not it, then you just do it all through your computer. Here we have main volume. 50 is up before clipping. If you can see there, anything above, it'll start going red. That's basically its clip. You could do up to 50 with no clipping from the device itself. Goes all the way down to 0. Mute. And you can mute it as well right there. 6 different presets. Can't connect because I have to turn on the device. If I had a preset, presets are saved directly onto the DSP. So anything saved or any work you've done on here, by the time, once it's done on here, you can close out the app and it'll be saved for your next time. You don't have to really worry about actually pressing save or doing any of that, because it has its own memory. It'll save it. There, that's if you wanted to save to each preset, you could do that. Phase control right up here, 0, 180. This is your mute volume. Each channel goes up to 60, 0. Control, same thing through right there. Fine control. This is where you would save to, depending on if you wanted it in a separate preset, you would set it all up here. Have that. Low pass, let's say 35. There you go. Say 550. Good. You want to cut this off, have it less of a slope. 6 through 24 decibel cutoffs. Same thing. And this is where you would choose as well. You choose the cutoff and you choose link width, bezel, or butterworth. Or defeat is just 20K. No real no cutoff shelf. I also really like that doesn't have to be a 12 decibel per octave cutoff at defeat, which is straight through. You can tell the difference of a 12 decibel cutoff versus, say, like you put it in link widths, have it at 20K. Once you put it at 20K, it'll basically show you infinite. But if you drop down, say 19 999. It'll show you that little bit of slope cutoff right there, roll off. Put it at 6, and you'll definitely tell that difference once you put it up to 20, because it'll open that up a lot more and give you a bit more boost in your highs up there. That's what I really like about the 6 decibel roll off on there. And I absolutely love that I can do a 6 decibel on Linkwits when I don't think any other processor does 6 decibel. It's not even Linkwits, but it'll just have a general 6 decibel roll off on there. See that? But it opens it up. It makes it gives it a lot more natural, clean sound if you were trying to look for that. If not, you can just cut it off at, let's say, 24. You have a much quicker roll off. See that? Versus, say, like a 12, 18. I like my 6 decibel roll offs. It'll blend a lot better between the channels. 8 channels here. Nothing really changes between them. I'm going to show you what each channel slope looks like. This is the EQ page on there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. EQ page. You have 10 channels, 10 bands of EQ. This is how you go through them. Now here we can turn on and off. Right now each channel is at 0 decibel. No boost, no gain, no cut. It'll show you your decibels right there, your Q, and then the frequency that it's at. Here is where you adjust the Q. Here is where you adjust the frequency. This is if you wanted to restore to a previous setting you had, and then obviously resetting the EQ. Here on this slider, any one of these sliders, you adjust the gain. You'll see the gain going up and down right there. 0.1 each step. This is the only way to adjust the gain on here, which sometimes gets a bit hard on your phone because it's so small. It's such a small interval, like with your finger. To say get a 0.1 decibel gain, sometimes it'll catch your finger rolling, and it'll give you like 0.2, 0.3. It'll be a bit hard. It goes 12 under and over. If you wanted to get to 0. Look at that. As soon as I let off, it's really sensitive, so it'll throw it up. The Q is the biggest, my biggest factor on why I really like the DSP-408. You can adjust by tapping on this Q. If you did it on the computer, you can adjust it a lot better, a lot easier. But this goes up in different intervals by what the user interface already has preset. But these are it's better than, I'd say, the 0.1 or 1, which was like on the B2. There's almost 3 to 4 different settings on each 0.1. So say right here, 0.10, 0.134, 0.167. Then we go up to 2. And this makes the adjustment a lot cleaner, a lot finer adjustment. So if you wanted to see right there, let's boost it all the way up. There's a wide EQ right now. Narrow it down. You can go all the way up to 28.8. Bring it down. Open that up right around 1. All the way open. 0.4. So this helps a lot. Especially if you have like a really narrow bump in your frequencies. You can really fine tune each adjustment on that. And then frequencies, here you can actually tap on the frequency. It'll give you the page if you don't want to use a slider. You need to find an exact frequency. Tap on the frequency, plus, minus, or you can also use the slider here, or type it in. Okay, there you go. It's at 525 right now. And that goes for every single channel. Same exact thing. That's just the EQ. Now, go to the output for the crossover. What I was showing earlier is the slopes, high pass, low pass filters. 500 and 1,000. See that? At 12 decibel high pass, 18 low pass. Really small. I just made that small. Let's go with 2,500. 12 decibel roll off over here, 18 over here. Output, back on output. If you wanted to link channels, say 7 and 8, go right here, linking. This is kind of sometimes has given me an issue, but it's just finding out or trying to get it to work properly. You'd want to join them. You could do another 2 channels. Once you press join, it's all these channels will be grouped together, but you can take those off. You link them. It's a separate thing from link and join. So, and then you could delete the groups. Delete, join. So if you wanted to join 2 groups here, you would go right here. Did something weird, but it's a bit, yeah, it's a learning process with the app. Once you get it all to work out nice, you can make it work as you want. Really great. Saving, you save to each preset, like I said. Now we also have the mixer. Shows you the channel. These are the inputs. If you had RCAs from each input, you would go up and down right here, part of your mix. I'll just finer adjustment here. If you have the Bluetooth playing, from my experience, I usually just put these all up at 100. It tends to play, because if you don't, then there seems to be no audio coming in. So I think it's just bypassing the whole input RCAs. You could have a separate input through the RCAs along with the Bluetooth dongle for the adjustment on here. You would just choose I believe the RCA input on the actual processor to get the audio from there. I've done it before, all of that. Yeah, there's no real issue, no real issue at all, actually. And so you would do that. Yeah, you have to get like right on the slider. Then you can go out so you can see a bit better where you're going. But once you first go on it, make sure you're on there, and then you can drag wherever to see how you adjust. And we have the delay, last thing. Millisecond, centimeter, inches as well, really useful. Goes up to 8 milliseconds, 109 inches. What did I say, milliseconds? Yeah. And then 8 milliseconds, 109 inches. You can adjust right through there, adjust through here, or adjust tapping. There you go. And you can measure out the distance between each speaker, put that in, and you'll be able to have near perfect time alignment. Go with milliseconds better for that. And then that's basically it for, yeah, here you would go with the streaming. So you would stream your audio from the Bluetooth. If not, if you wanted to go straight from the RCAs, the inputs, you would turn this off. If you want it back on Bluetooth, you go right there. And that's basically it. Dayton Audio DSP-408.